These glasses, they're not just for show, okay? May remind you of a character from The Matrix. Morpheus, perhaps? But I don't just wear the glasses. I'm wise like Morpheus, too. Wake up! The Matrix has you, Neo. What is The Matrix? Instagram, Snapchat, Telegram, YouTube. All of the big heavy hitters out there, they got you. You didn't even know about it. I bet you feel pretty stupid now, huh? You didn't even fucking know about it, did you? You didn't know. You didn't know what they were doing to us. Because I was like you once. Afraid to post what I wanted. Until I realized the real freedom is to say whatever you wanted in your own notes app and screenshot it and put it on Instagram so their little text recognition software couldn't ban you instantly. That's freedom. That's how we win the system back. We post. Something I'm not too grateful about recently is social media and the social media Panopticon. Because the whole genesis of this driving around yelling at the camera video was, wouldn't it be cool to rehash this idea we had literally 18 months ago for a video? That would be so cool. That would be so cool if we used that video from so long ago. But we'll reshoot it, we'll do it in this new kind of... You know, that's one of the best things that new directors say is, you can just get out there and shoot, which is what we're doing, Scorsese. We're getting out there and we're shooting. You can literally make a movie on your iPhone. And we're doing that, and that's what this is. We're making a movie on an iPhone. Panopticon, it's like a prison, it's like a... I remember the prison picture, I remember the cartoon, the drawing of like, wouldn't it be scary if there was a prison and there was one guard? And you didn't know when you were being watched. And I remember going, oh, you're right, that would be scary. And then I went back to watching TV. But I never gave it a second thought. And then a funny idea starts to hit me. I call up my buddy, and I say, what if the real Panopticon was the social media we used along the way? The way that I comprehend it and rationalize it in my mind is, you remember that you're no better than your old fucking boomer uncle who would say, I'm not you. 10 years ago, maybe this was true, is, 10 years ago, your boomer uncle heard that you were on the Facebook, that you were using it, and he'd go, what the hell? Don't you know the Chinese are getting your information that way? Don't you know? Don't you want to have some semblance of privacy, son? Why are you using all this computer garbage? Now where are we? 10 years later, the boomers are the worst out of anybody at that shit. The boomers are so bad for tech privacy. You go onto Facebook, onto any random group, and you're like, oh, hey, is the KitchenAid stand mixer for sale? And you're like, here's my address. Here's my address and where I live. Here's how old I am and the names of all my children. Would you like anything else? Would you like anything else from me? You're like, Uncle Gary's fucking... This is the 6th time he's tweeted his own password. He's tweeted his own password because he thinks he needs to log in every time he opens the app on his phone. So we have to keep resetting his information. Gary, you gotta stop. You gotta learn how computers work. What is a Panopticon? If you're too lazy to Google, it's the thing of... this is a center watchtower. There's a whole bunch of prison cells around. It's like a design for prison, and the watchtower is central. And there's all these cells, and the watchtower is in the middle. That's what central means. It's in the center, actually. The center is a kind of a fancy word for middle. So it's in the middle, all these, and there's cells everywhere. There's cells, but in the middle there's a watchtower, but there's cells all around. But in the middle is a watchtower. So you go, and all the prisoners, they don't know when they're being watched, but it means one guard for, let's say, 200 prisoners. Whoa, that's a really neat idea. I wonder how that applies to the internet and social media. Well, you fucking moron. You couldn't follow along with what I just said. You couldn't extrapolate from my beautiful analogy. It's that you're prevented from doing and thinking and saying what you want because you're always scared that you're gonna get fucking blacklisted. And how am I gonna see all the cute coffee pictures that people post online and who went where? How am I gonna know? How am I going to stop getting memes sent to me from 16 people that I sort of knew back in high school every single day on Instagram Reels if I disconnect from the machine? The fucking Matrix has you. You just got to follow the beautiful white rabbit out of the machine. who do we blame for this situation that we're in? When all hope is lost? You know, sometimes when all hope is lost, I like to remember the monologue that Two-Face gives in The Dark Knight, where he goes, when the Romans were at the gates, they would appoint one man, one great fearless leader to take on the hordes. And I know, and I'm, honestly, I feel honored that you would choose me to lead the battle, lead the charge in the defense of our own personal freedoms. Is there anything more sacred? I don't think so. Me? I'm just a guy who doesn't think so. I'm just a guy who doesn't even fucking think, if I'm being honest. I read that word, and I thought, this is such a cool looking word. Then I started asking myself questions. Who made it? And, you know, then I went down one of these scary right-wing unfounded conspiracy theory icebergs, and I started thinking to myself, why does every conspiracy always lead to that one end point where they always seem to lead into it's a certain question where all of these conspiracies go to, where even the utterance of the question is honestly, that's I just want to give myself a disclaimer. That's to presuppose there was a question, that there ever was a question, that maybe 80 years ago there was a question. I'm not saying there was even ever a question. I'm not saying that. So we know where the end point is gonna go. You can already tell it's gonna go to a couple guys. It's about a group of guys. Really, essentially, it's about a group of guys. And, you know, there's a couple girls, but it's a group of guys. It's a small group. It's a very loyal group. Very loyal, in fact. International group of guys. But that's where that's the end point, right? You can already see where this is going. But these people, you know, what they like to do in conspiracies is they like to say they're hiding it all in plain sight. It's all in front of us. Where do you get all your information from? The centralization of media led to Wikipedia. What is Wikipedia? Wikipedia, wicked pedos, wicked pedophiles. It was all in front of us the whole time. It was in front of us the whole time, and they know it, and they're lying to us, and they just like to see us suffer, and they want to see us all burn. Well, I hear where you're coming from. What do we do about it, though? What do we do about this? You know, everything in hell and there's no hope. Okay, but I get you. It's hopeless. Everybody sucks. Everything is fucked. It's just one of those days with the juice control mass media. I get you. I understand where you're coming from, a right-wing troll, Fred Durst. I getcha. I understand. Because the second you try to ask for a solution from these people, they always give you the, what, you don't think this is fucking real? No, I do think it's real. That's why I want you to give me your best shot. Be real with me if you want to hang with me. Be real with me. Just be real with me. So how do we fix this? Well, you don't. You delete all your profiles, delete all your accounts for 4, maybe 5 months, 6 months if we're being generous. I know you're not going to make it that long. You're going to be itching to get back onto social media the second you delete it. Oh, but I forgot to look at the post that my buddy Craig sent me. Oh, I'll just get my account back. And then you're like a fucking heroin addict relapsing. This time it's real, man. This time I'm never going back. I deleted my accounts this time. I flushed all my accounts down the toilet. I'm on that good clean stuff now. I'm on Rumble, dude. This stuff is clean. It's this new breed. It's this new gen stuff. It's clean now. It's not as addictive. All right. Suppose you do that. What is the upshot? Neo didn't just stop at freeing himself. He wanted to free all of humanity when they were ready. When will the people be ready? They never will be. There's no point in arguing that we should just have a mass boycott of social media. That'll never fucking... Nice fantasy. Nice story. What a good story. When I hear people say that, I think, that's a really great... And then Alice went down the rabbit hole. Whew, that's another classic story. So, we know the solution. The solution is to name those who shall not be named. Why can't we name them? That's another question you have to ask yourself. the people on the other side who are saying it doesn't exist and to suppose that it does exist is offensive. Why is it offensive? Is it because they know where the other people are going immediately? There's a group of... So, without any context, if I said this, there's a group of people that congregate together and they all have the similar views, and you're not in the club, like George Carlin said. Rest in peace. And they all make decisions about the media, the political establishment, where the world is going, the future. They rewrite the past. Why is that offensive to say? There's a huge impact within those words, but why? It's because they know immediately where you're going to go after that. It's because you know immediately you're going to start going. For those who maybe, I wish I was like you. If you don't know, if you have literally no idea what the joke is here, the joke is that we're not saying it's Jews. That's the joke, by the way. If you haven't got that yet, I wish I was you. Like, I wish I didn't know fucking anything. That's you right now. That's you right now getting the joke. Oh, the joke is it's anti-Semitism. Yup, that's the joke. Congrats. You didn't understand. It's like the same feeling as maybe when you were 13, 14 and you just learned like blue comedy for the first time. You just learned racist jokes and you tell someone and you realize that there are people who are so they're so nice that they've never even considered a racist thought, even in a comedic context. And you just look back, you're like, damn, I wish I was him. I wish I didn't even think things like that were funny. But they are funny. But they are. That's the joke, is that, and immediately people contextualize this whole Panopticon thing with like, well, it all started in 1939 when there was a secret act passed that said that. So that's another great piece of fiction you just gave me, because again, it's unfounded. It's a right-wing troll conspiracy theory. I don't believe any of that stuff myself. I'm more into Mario Party on DS. That's sort of where my mental cognition peaked. So that's where I'm at. You're maybe a little higher. You're at a higher plane of consciousness. You're thinking, why is it so bad to use offensive words on the internet but free speech? But they said that the speech would be free. Shut up. Literally shut up. These fucking free speech absolutists. Because you become one of those guys. That's like, I've seen people like that who were just normal in high school, and then they start going into like right-wing conspiracies online, and they never had the wherewithal as a child to be exposed to all this, to be immune to it, to where it's like seeing fucking venom take over their body. They just immediately start going like, did you hear about the elections in the other province in Canada? Did you hear did you hear that it was rigged by the Jews? Did you hear that the world order? The world order is making gas $1.36 a gallon. It's like seeing this evil, corrupted soul sort of wander the plains of this barren, dead earth. Nobody cares anymore. We had maybe a month 2 years ago where people cared about the Jews, and that's because Kanye West, like the rapper? Yeah, Kanye West said it on the fucking news programs. I like to call it a J-blast. He was just straight dropping, he was J-blasting. He was straight up J-blasting that whole fucking month. It was crazy. I remember when that was happening, I literally couldn't believe that it was being broadcast on the news. Where you see somebody saying things like that, you see Kanye West talking about Hitler, and you're just like, who unplugged the machines? What? Whoa. Get this man a gun. Get him medicated immediately. That's what I thought when I saw that. When I saw him go, because that's what an unhinged person does, is they start speaking about their own past, and they start making sense of the things around them and people around them. That's truly what a maniac would do. Not me, man. I'm good. I'm good off of that. Where can we go next? And what is the projection for the future? Let's get serious for a second. We've had a lot of fun here talking about the Jews, but let's get serious for a second. The person holding this camera is a Jew. Bring me your ugly, bring me your gay. That's what it says on the Statue of Liberty. Bring me your Jews. Mass migration now. That's what the Statue of Liberty was for. It was fucking built by the French. They're crazy. But I just want to take a moment to be serious with you guys, because that's not cool to be saying all that stuff. And it's It's just kind of it's heartbreaking that people like that, people are just being targeted online for their beliefs and something they have no control over. The one thing I do think would be tight is if out of this we became like a cyberpunk style dystopia. Because I can't rationalize things without comparing them to media I consumed as a child. So I'm just thinking social media watching me all the time and controlling the cycles in my brain of how I think and what I think is bad. But what if I got to be Blade Runner? That would be so sick. What if I got to be Deckard in a flying car in Los Angeles in 2017? That'd be so cool. What if there were neon signs for Sony and Atari in Japanese and English everywhere? There were holograms. That would be so sweet. That would be so fucking sweet. That's a pipe dream. Because it won't happen. Things are just going to continue to get worse. Disclaimer 2. It's important that we, when an anonymous source came to me with the script for this video and paid me $2,000 on Fiverr to record this, they couldn't help but stress to me and to the audience how important it would be to just manifest this disclaimer into the video. Nothing of what I'm about to say is real. John Connor T2. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves. The future is still in our hands, and there is yet work to be done. It's gonna suck. It's really gonna suck. This is not what I want the future to look like, but it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. My son just got expelled because he put Sharpie over the crotch camera in his desk at school. What? We're gonna have nanny cams in every single desk implanted to make sure that the nanny cams are gonna be so advanced, they're not just gonna be able to listen to you, they're gonna be able to listen to your thoughts. They're gonna be able to feel when you're having a bad thought, and they're gonna administer you a nice dosage of relaxants immediately when you have those thoughts. It's gonna be beautiful. Everybody's gonna be drugged out of their mind. They're all gonna be pacified. It's gonna be beautiful. There's not gonna be, and the best part is, guys, Apple just released a new app. That means homelessness is solved. We did it, guys! Guys, we did it! Everybody, look! Homelessness, there's no more bums in the streets. The parking lots don't have tents in them with people doing heroin and crushing up pills. We did it, guys! Everything is fixed. Just as we're sort of wrapping up here, every once in a while in your life, and you'll feel it when that moment comes to you, but I'm sure you can think of a few times when it's happened, when someone just drops a piece of information on you that doesn't utterly change you to your core, but changes how you think now. That word, in a very real sense, is Panopticon. It's not even the idea. It's just the utterance of the word that continuously shakes you and makes you wary of the fact of, oh man, what am I gonna get in trouble for saying this? Is something bad gonna happen to me? Because, to be completely candid with you, it's not a great feeling to have, to feel like you're being watched constantly because of your digital footprint. I've had that since I was 14. I had all of my computer records from my computer, all of my chat logs and everything with every single one of my friends pulled when I was 14 years old by the police. I had to go to the cybercrimes division and drop off my 2 devices that I had as well as my computer. That sucks. Because after that moment, since then, for almost 7 years now, I feel that dread consume me every single time I look at something that might just be misconstrued as me being into that. You can't get around it. It's celebrity worship. That's the fucking number one reason for it. It's 100% celebrity worship. Did you hear that this actor said that the mainstream media is good? I'll believe that the mainstream media is good now. Thank you. Did you hear that this actor donated to Israel? Oh, that's good. The war in Palestine never even happened. That's my take. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. There's never been a war there. There's never been a war in Palestine. It's never happened. I've never heard of a war before. What? Did they teach us that in history? What? I never even heard of that before. You're telling me something I never even heard before. You go through these phases in your consumption of media, and the end point should be to disconnect from it entirely. I don't even read the news. That's how disconnected I am. That's not even me being, like, silly. I don't read the news because the news sucks. Because the news is always bad. Because there's never been a news article I've read and I've thought, wow, I'm really better off right now than I would have been if I didn't read it. Nope, not once. You're always better off not having that constant stream of death and decay in your face. Listen to the song Vicarious by Tool, the opening track off of 10,000 Days. So, if I know what you all were thinking during this video. The message is fine. No. You know, I won't even stroke my ego that much. You guys were thinking, this message, I wipe my ass with this message. This message is pure shit. What car is he driving? What's that beautiful car that he's driving? Well, lucky for you, we filmed an entire review of this car. And to you, it may look like a 30-minute video, or 15, or however long it gets. But to us, it was 4 days over 21 days. It was 4 days over the course of 3 weeks. So in some parts it's raining and I'm wearing a jacket, and in other parts I'm in shorts and I'm wearing a polo shirt. In some parts I'm wearing sunglasses, in other parts my hair is greasy because I forgot to shower on the morning of one of the days. You just gotta tune in. You just gotta tune in to Auto Autopsy. You gotta understand the animus of car design. Hey, listen up. How many times has this exact thing happened to you? You're at a dinner party. You're drinking your Sauvignon Blanc, you know, and people are going around and they're going, yes, the war is terrible, but have you heard that the new Ferrari F335 Futuro concept by Ital Design? And they're going, Nick, did you know that Lexus, the reason that it's called Lexus is because it's a luxury export to the US, LEX-US? You go, no, I didn't know that. Well, you'd be better prepared for all the car-themed dinner parties, all the Fast and Furious watch parties you go to if you watch the fucking videos, okay? You just gotta keep that in mind. You gotta keep that in your big old noggin there. You gotta put that in your melon. That's sort of the message that I want to get across to you. That'll be the new outro bit for all the videos. For all the ones that watch this video, you'll know where that outro bit comes from. Put that in your melon. Put that in your melon. I said, put that in your melon. Put my thoughts into your melon. Ooh, I just can't wait to get all my thoughts in your melon. I cut it.